Well, welcome back, Lauren. It's one of my favorite topics is influencers, and because my really most impactful first influencer, I believe, was my grandfather. Him, my grandmother, my mom, and my aunt were from Kiev, Ukraine, and they came to Canada where I was born. And a little fast forward, I remember my grandfather taking me for walks in the park in Montreal when I was about 5 years old or six, and he talked to everybody, which is probably where I get it from. But he talked to everybody. And one day I asked him, like I said, Zeta, when I called him, how do you know all these people? And he looked at me and said, well, the guy over there, I smiled at him. And then he saw me and came over and smiled at me. And we started talking. And I learned about this, I learned about that and this. And then someone else saw we were talking and he smiled at us and so on. And I'm thinking, well, it's pretty simple. I just got to smile at people. That's a 5-year-old and things happen. And then you get older, you start to realize how simple it really is. Even a smile can physiologically and, emotionally and everything make a difference and influence people. So we all have lots of influencers, some a minute, some a lifetime. Can you share two or three that have been influential in your life?
Yes, and thank you for sharing that, Mark. That's such a great story about your grandfather, and I think that's so true. That looking back on some of the simplicity and the most important things we learned in our childhood is what we really should use as a guiding light throughout our life.
Amen.
I will do the same, and I'll go back and certainly my parents, my grandmother, so many incredible influencers in my early life. But I will single out for today's conversation my dad. He is someone who very much influenced the way I see the world and the way I think about my contribution. He always said it was so important to work hard, contribute something you're proud of. And he was a football coach for more than 30 years. And he wanted me to play sports, be part of a team. And he said teamwork, putting other people above yourself, and being part of that synergy to be able to do something big, not just you, but with others, is such an important lesson to learn in life. And I absolutely learned that. And it's something I look back to on a
I love
daily
your father.
basis now. So I love that. And I really live by those lessons. I'll fast forward a little bit to the workplace with one of my earlier managers. And he was not my manager for very long, but had an incredible impact on me. And both from, of course, being transparent and sharing feedback and having conversations. But what really stood out to me is he saw something in me and he told me. He said he thought that I could do what I wanted if I worked hard. And I really took that to heart. And it's something that I've looked back to so many times at pivotal junctures.
Right.
And it's also inspired me to make sure that I'm saying that when I see things in people, because I think so often we think, oh, that person knows that they're really good at that, or that person knows that they're, knocking it out of the park, and I don't need to tell them. But I think we really should, because
Yeah.
sometimes someone doesn't even know they have a skill or talent until someone tells us. And I feel so fortunate to have someone who told me. So I would say that was definitely a big impact for me. And then I'm gonna name two others who I can't. They each deserve a unique spot.
Mhm.
They're the two female mentors in my career who taught me so much, and they taught me very different things. The first. Engineer by background, just a very direct, smart, ready for anything woman who taught me how to create space for myself, for my team, say what I mean, but in a kind way, and really be a leader that people want to lead them. And I saw that from the first day I met her, and I feel so fortunate to have had that lesson and to be able to emulate some of the things she's done. And then on the other side of that, I would say the other mentor I had is very much taught me the lesson of nuance and the way you do things. It matters how you deliver information. It matters how you show up in your day to day. And she really taught me that so often the small things end up being the big things. So while you're focusing on the big things and the long-term things, make sure you're looking at the smaller things because those can make all the difference.
Brilliant. Hey, we all need some loving on us every so often, right? No
So
matter
true.
what. So, one thing I've always noticed is that, we're influencing people all the time, and it's our
Mm-hmm.
choice to be positive or not. And most of the time you won't even know. And just, one of my favorite movies is Mr. Holland's Opus. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's an older movie with Richard Dreyfuss. He was a teacher. He had no idea how many people he impacted. Check out the movie. It's really cool.
I'll have to add that to my holiday watch list here.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that and being a good influencer yourself.
Thank you, Mark.